Hola, 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 hola. Hi, Cece. How are you, beautiful? Trevor responded and said Thursday at after 5. What do you think about 6 or 7? I saw your questions. I think it seems like we would be talking for about an hour and a half, close to 2 hours. And I figure we'll go with your questions, Cece, because you have plenty. Okay. So if we want to do it tomorrow, oops, sorry. Hi, Demon Dictator. So good to see you. Okay. I am going to. Okay, I like the part 1 and the part 2. So we'll do it for an hour. And then after that hour, we'll just let him know that we'll do a part 2. I did talk to Danny. Danny said that Trevor, just FYI, has her information. So she's saying she's open to whatever. Not open to whatever. I'm not saying that. No, no, no. I apologize for saying that. That's not what she said. She just said, okay. In other words, just keep her posted. If there's something additional. I honestly, Cece, I asked her how she felt collaborating with Trevor Green. And she didn't say she had a problem with it or not. She just said that he had her information. Hope that makes sense.
Yeah. Let's grab it. Come on, come on, got a royalty news. Flashing never nasty as you keep it refined. Covering the tea and the royalty combined. Share listen to the story every side, every view. No jumping to conclusions, that's all I ain't. Not a fan of Mega Marker, that's a royalty creep. Go on and recognize subscribe do.
My jewel.
Lady like a child step into the room. Crown on her head and the tea goes boom. Got a kettle on, I got the receipts on deck. Been a dudes in the chat like what happened next. She don't need drama, she don't need a fight. She hear both sides and get the story right. Classy in the daytime, classy at night. Even when the comment section started looking like a fight. She said, hold it all and let's hear them all. Before somebody's reputation takes a fall. Royalty served with a biscuit or two. Lady Lottie, she got no fan or two crow. Lady Lottie, she got no fan or two.
In the chat for
She classy, never nasty, yeah, she keep it refined. Covering the tea and the royalty combined. She listen to the story, every side, every view. No jumping to conclusions, that's what lady do. Not a fan of Meghan Markle, that's a royal decree. God's every king, now subscribe to me. To me, tea in the cup, tea all over the screen. Lady got opinions, but she keeps them pristine. Somebody said, lady, you gotta pick a side. She said, darling, I'm listening, let's take that ride. One side said this, other side said that. Hey, lady takes notes while she adjusts her hair. And all fan to do laughing, girl, you better go. She says, I get the facts before I steal the show. Yeah, royal family drama, yeah, bring it on through. But don't spill the tea on the royal shoe. She'll cover the palace, the crown, and the crown's tea. And probably explain it while sipping green. Come join me, that each other, man, on the I got a channel, got a royalty news. She classy, never nasty, yeah, she keeps it real fine. Covering the tea and the royalty combined. Yeah, listen to the story, every side, every view. No jumping to conclusions, that's what lady do. Not a fan of Meghan Markle, that's a royal decree. every king, now subscriber do to me. Fanadoo's assemble, everybody get ready. Lady Lottie, she's commentary steady. She got the tea kettle doing overtime. Somebody pass the biscuits, it's commentary time. No need for a sword, no need for a crime. She'll politely turn the royal gossip upside down. If the palace gets messy, she'll be right on the case. With a cup in her hand and a smile on her face. She says, darling, let's not get carried away. We'll hear everybody before we call it a day. Classy, never nasty, that's the motto she knew. Lady Lottie and a Fanadoo crew. Come join Lady Lottie and a Fanadoo look. Pull out to the channel, got the royalty news. Classy, never nasty, yeah, she keeps it refined. Covering the tea and the royalty combined. She'll listen to the story, every side, every view. No jumping to conclusion, that's a royal lady do. Not a fan of Meghan Markle, that's the royal decree. God say the king, now subscribe and do to me. Subscribe and do. Don't be shy, step through. Fanadoo squad, what it do, what it do. Grab your little teacup, put your pinky up. High royalty so high, it's about to touch the sky. Lady says, be classy, everybody says too. Somebody spilled the tea, somebody blame the crew. Kettle started rattling, the biscuits flew. And Lady Lottie, she said, I didn't do it, did you? Come join Lady Lottie, channel Fanadoo zoo. Pull out to the channel, got the royalty news. She classy, never nasty, yeah, she keep it real fine. Covering the tea and the royalty combined. She'll listen to the story, every side, every view. No jumping to conclusions, that's what Lady do. Not Meghan Markle, that's the royal decree. God save the king, now subscribe and do the mid. Subscribe and do. Subscribe and do. Lady Lottie shop. And the Fanadoo crew.
That is too.
All right, y'all. So this right here is truly an under-discussed story, and it's absolutely psychotic when you hear the specifics. So take a look at this from the cradle. They say 6 people have tried to jump off the U.
Okay, we saw that already. Okay. Let's get started. I want to watch Trevor Green's E.T. movie real quick.
In this quiet neighborhood, on this tranquil street, a mystery is unfolding. And an adventure is beginning. Again.
I'm keeping him.
Steven Spielberg's masterpiece returns to theaters everywhere.
What's he doing? E.T. Phone home. E.T. Phone home.
We made it!
I'm the realest mother, yo. I'm the realest I know on here. Trust that. Sammy sees everything. Sammy clocking everything.
Go to Happy Life. What's up, everyone? Give it up for Lake Erie.
They want it with me.
Danny's favorite part.
Everything. Sammy clocking everything. They want it with me.
Oh, hell no. I had to show that again. I did. Yes. Hola, happy life. You've never seen the movie E.T.? You gotta watch it, Snowdrop. I know. When is the full movie coming out, Trevor? Yes, Michelle E. E.T. You got your money ready? I know that's right. Michelle, you've never seen E.T.? Oh, wow. You are Snowdrop. Plotter, did you see that? Plotter. Whoa. Whoa.
I'm the realest mother, yo. I'm the realest.
I know.
Realest.
Lisa,
I know on here.
Lisa.
Trust that.
It's the bomb.
Trust that.
For me
Sammy
too.
sees everything. Sammy.
It's the bomb for me too. It's the bomb. Oh, shit. Oh my God. Yes, Jag is driving. I don't know. Oh, they want it with me. Yeah, I mean, you can't get it no crazier than this. I can't wait for the movie. There's a movie coming out.
Clocking everything. Everything. They want it with me.
Okay. All right. Hello, here for the show. All right, all right, all right. Let's get into it. I know it's only a trailer. It's only a trailer. It is only a trailer. Hello, here for the show. Yes, me too. I was through. My daughter was like, "What are you laughing at, mommy?" I said, "Baby." Oh shoot. I couldn't stop laughing. I would just bust out and start laughing. We went swimming and I would just bust out and start laughing, thinking about it. Yes, it's his production. I know. I keep watching it. I watched it at Danny's. Whoa! Pickles and the jewels. Some balloons. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Pickles. Can we put some Fanadoos in the chat for Pickles, please? Thank you, Pickles. Pickles. Yay. Right. Thank you, Pickles. Where my Fanajuice at? Where my fans at? Oh, thank you for the Fanajuice, guys. Thank you, Pickles. All right. Let's get into it, guys. Now, I don't know. Have you guys heard that Donald Trump's aide is liking him? That he has an aide that he might be doing the hanky-panky with? Okay. The hanky-panky. The hanky-panky. All right, let's get to it. Here we go. Okay, let's start here.
Warm water for sailors to shower, and that the water. Jong-un. Good evening, everyone. What an afternoon. The White House is on fire over repeated questions about Donald Trump's relationship with his close aide, Natalie Harp. So much so, the White House is now attacking a reporter directly and invoking her children to do it. That's on the same day Trump lashed out at the same reporter for asking him about America's relationship with South Korea while he cozies up to North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un. Construction at Big Ben has been paused after fierce backlash. I got exclusive messages showing horrific conditions aboard another aircraft carrier, and I sat down today with the woman who's beaten Trump in court 100% of the time on election cases. Let's get into it. It's Monday evening, and there's a lot to get through, so let's start with the story that's been building all day because it involves Trump losing his temper on camera. And if you want to support this work, make sure to subscribe today, like, comment, share, get the word out. We're building this together. Today, Trump lashed out at senior CNN White House reporter Kristen Holmes in the Oval Office after she pressed him on reports that he reduced joint U.S.-South Korea military exercises as a favor to North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un. He told her to be quiet, called her disrespectful, and repeatedly branded her and her network fake news.
Right.
And here's the part that makes it worse. He did this in front of a 16-year-old lifeguard who was there to be honored for a rescue. Watch this moment for yourself.
Well, he didn't like anybody, but I get along with him very well. No, what I'm doing is making things safer. Just the opposite. Quiet. You're very disrespectful in front of this young man. Okay? Don't you find her disrespectful? He understands. Quiet. Who are you with? Fake news. You're fake news. You're a loud, boisterous person. You're fake news. Be quiet. Be quiet. Be quiet. You're a fake reporter, and you report fake news. Go ahead.
Mr. President, is there enough?
That's real, and that happened today. Holmes also asked Trump to respond to Senator John Ossoff's claim that the president would rather travel with aide Natalie Harp and build his ballroom than actually do his job. Trump's response was to call Ossoff a Pee Wee Herman lookalike before defending the ballroom project. He went on to praise his relationship with Kim Jong-un, saying, "I got along with him very well," while in the same breath criticizing South Korea for not helping him with the war in Iran. CNN condemned the exchange, saying Holmes did her job by asking a tough, relevant, and newsworthy question, and that personal attacks on journalists for asking questions are beneath the office. But it didn't stop there. This is what the White House Rapid Response account decided to post this afternoon. The White House Rapid Response account escalated things after the Oval Office blew up, calling Holmes a disgraceful, humiliating embarrassment to her alleged profession for using the lifeguard photo op to ask about Natalie Harp. And then it got personal in a way that should bother you no matter your politics. The account told Holmes that her own children would one day be sickened and embarrassed by her question. They branded her and implicitly other critical reporters as the lowest of the low. No walking it back, no apology. So why is this Harp question even landing so hard right now? Because of a new Substack post from Trump biographer Michael Wolff. Wolff writes that Natalie Harp, Trump's 35-year-old executive assistant, has gone to extraordinary lengths to stay close to him. So much so that in 2023, during the campaign relocation, she reportedly slept in the maid's quarters, then later camped out in the women's locker room just to minimize distance from Trump.
She slept in the maid's quarter. She slept closer to him because she wanted to be closer to Donald Trump. Her actions speak that she likes him in a romantic way. Okay, Melania, where are you, girl? Your husband, your hubby. Exactly, Snowdrop. The media can be just thinking they're above the law. Let's see. Especially if it's a BBC reporter and Pierce Morgan. Oh, I missed this. Oh, really, CC? Is that what the aide is saying? But the aide is trying to get closer and closer to Trump.
Wolf goes further, claiming Melania Trump's continued absence from public life is directly tied to this, writing that Melania would not.
They're trying to say that Melania is not in public view because of what's going on with this aide.
Not show up if Harp was around, and since Harp is always around, Melania has, quote, effectively given up the role of wife. It lines up with earlier reporting from Maggie Haberman, who revealed Harp was one of the 3 aides chosen to secretly evacuate with Trump, specifically because she functions as, quote, Trump's comfort blanket, and has even taken over ghostwriting his Truth Social posts. And all of this landed the same day the Supreme Court declined for the second time to rehear Trump's appeal in the E. Jean Carroll case. All while Sky Perryman and others take him on in court repeatedly. Now let's get into what actually triggered Monday's blow, because the South Korea story is serious on its own. In the Oval Office, Trump described South Korea's decade-long defense relationship with the United States in purely transactional terms, complaining Seoul wasn't paying the roughly $3 billion a year in protection money he'd extracted during his first term, and blaming Biden for not collecting more.
South Korea has been protected by us for many, many years. And during my first term, they agreed to pay close to $3 billion a year for protection, because they essentially weren't paying. And I asked them to do that at my request. I said, not right. They weren't happy about it, but they agreed. I asked for $10 billion, and they were very unhappy. But we agreed for a short term that it would be $3 billion. The next year would go up, and the next year would go up. So they start paying for their protection. When the election was rigged and I ended up watching for 4 years and then coming back, I watched Biden rescind that $3 billion here for whatever reason. When I called recently, President of South Korea, who I like, I think he's very nice actually, but I called him, I said, would you like to give us a little hand? We don't need help with Iran, but if you'd like, give us a hand with Iran. He said, no, thanks. And I said, wait a minute, we have 39,000 soldiers over there guarding you from Kim Jong-un, your next door neighbor, and you're not going to help us on a very easy military operation in Iran? That's strange. No, we'd rather not get involved. I said, well, why are we involved? I said, not right. They were.
And this comes just hours after he told Pete Hegseth to reduce the Ulchi Freedom Shield joint exercises between the United States and South Korea, calling the drills hostile towards a North Korea that he now describes as unthreatening and respectful. And here's what makes Trump's framing especially hard to defend. His own administration's 2026 annual threat assessment describes North Korea as increasingly confident. And his own former director of national intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, testified that North Korea's ICBMs can already reach U.S. soil. Now, a little bit of good news, sort of. CBP Commissioner Rodney Scott announced today that he's pausing all border wall construction in Big Bend National Park while he personally evaluates the project. And I want to also share something that came directly to me. A family member of a sailor aboard the USS Vinson sent me this today, telling me that the aircraft carrier does not have warm water for sailors to shower and that the water fountains have been turned off. This on top of everything we've already reported on the brutal conditions of the USS Abraham Lincoln. I also want to flag my conversation today with Sky Perryman. She made something very clear. Her organization hasn't just beaten Trump in court more than 70% of the time.
Oh my God, what do you mean there's no water? There's no warm water on the ship. This ship is not holding up. The USS Lincoln is not holding up. The people on board are getting lethargic. They're sleepy. Their mental capacity is losing it. And they've been on this ship for 200 and something odd days, just sitting there. And now the conditions inside the ship is unlivable.
time overall. They've beaten him 100% of the time on election-related cases. And she told me they're ready to take him on again the moment he tries to interfere with the midterms. And so that's it for tonight. I'm going to interview Sky right now. If this work matters to you, if you want independent reporting that doesn't flinch when powerful people push back, please subscribe today. And here's my interview with Sky Perryman. Sky Perryman, welcome back to The Partners Perspective. I'm so excited to be talking to you today about all things your new book, which just came out, and also all the craziness in this world. How are you?
It's good to see you. I'm doing good.
I want to kind of jump right in because a lot of Americans and a lot of my followers are often disconcerted and say, Aaron, I feel hopeless. I don't know what to do. I feel like everything coming out of the administration is just another gut punch every single day. What do you tell them?
First of all, that they're right to feel that way. I mean, this is an administration and a political movement that tries to make people feel hopeless, powerless, alone, afraid, exhausted. So all of that is a feature, not a bug, of the way this administration and their allies seek to operate. So we first of all validate.
That's right, Lisa. And I even heard 6 of the crew people wanted to just jump overboard. They said that they can't eat, use the bathroom, shower, or have drinking water. And Orange Man appears not to care at all. Yeah. No. Lauder says, I don't think I'm ever surprised by any news regarding that man. Everything I hear, the momentum, monument, bug bin, I flash back to that movie, Family Vacation, where Chevy Chase, is it Chase? Can't get to the exit lane and keeps going around in that circle. The Big Ben and the Parliament. I remember that. That was too funny. Let's see what they're talking about. And I have another video of the Trump and the aid. Okay. There's concerns.
That feeling. No one's going to try to tell you not to feel that way. But the real power we have is how we respond. And throwing up our hands and doing nothing doesn't actually help us get out of this mess. It also doesn't really help us process all the things that are happening to us and the way we're feeling. And really being able to build community and take action together, that is the antidote to this moment. And so I tell people to start thinking about what you think you can do in your circumstance in this moment. Sometimes that's just getting your mindset right, just committing not to doom scrolling and committing to acting. Sometimes it's doing more things that are more active, go be a poll worker, register people to vote, depending on people's time and resources.
Now, you folks at Democracy Forward have taken the president to court, I feel like more so than any other group that I know of. What's your winning rate right now against this president?
I don't have the precise rates, but I'll say overall, the president's losing about 70 to 80% of the time in court. I could probably make that rate look better for us or worse for us, depending on how you look at it. But that's even considering the Supreme Court. Overall, the president and his administration are losing far, far more than they're winning.
What do you say to someone who says, well, he just doesn't even oblige by court orders. I can't even trust the courts?
Well, he tries not to oblige by court orders. He tries not to. At times, the Department of Justice tries to skirt court orders. But we have been able, through tenacity and through the tools that we learn, and Aaron, you're a lawyer, the tools that we learn as lawyers, we've been able to go into.
Okay, we're going to move on from her. And, what did I do? Her brother speaks out about her unhealthy relationship with Donald Trump. Her brother speaks out against the situation. Hold on, I'm pulling it back up. Playlist. I have to go through all this stuff. All right, we're gonna move on to we just did Aaron. I re- okay, CC, thank you. USS. Oh, the trust is gone. Oh, they're aggravated. They're done with him. Not sure what you mean, Debbie. Hold on. Sorry. Dang it. Here we go. Can you hear me now?
Camel's back. That's what we're seeing right now. Pete Hegseth is under major fire. American bases may be kicked out of Gulf states in the region. Military families are furious. It's a perfect storm happening right now for the Secretary of Defense and for a president who is no longer trusted by America's allies. Never did I think that I'd see the day that America's allies would unite against the United States of America to push the American president into doing something because they don't believe and they're no longer confident in his ability to conduct diplomacy. But we are here. That is the day where we are at today. And the Secretary of Defense, who is...
We are dealing with an incompetent president. We are dealing with someone that is incompetent, that is not competent to run this country. All he wants to do is go play golf and hang out with, and do other stuff and talk about the Democrats. That's it. And wear that diaper. He really needs to take that diaper off. You can see it. His butt is square. Anyway, he is not fit for office.
Responsible for leading America's armed forces, well, he is being blasted by military families as we speak for downplaying their concerns of their service members aboard aircraft carriers in the Middle East. Make sure to subscribe.
They all voted for him.
To support this work, like, comment, share, get the word out, because right now America's military is in crisis and America's allies say, no more, Mr. President. Right now, those in and around the Gulf states no longer trust the President of the United States. Trump, in recent weeks, has repeatedly issued threats against Iran, only to withdraw them time and time again. After months of conflict and continuing missile and drone strikes by Iran and its proxies, 3 officials and a former U.S. diplomat told the Washington Post that now the governments of Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Qatar, Kuwait, and Bahrain are united in their aggravation with the administration, and some have begun debating the utility of continuing to host large U.S. military installations on their territory, discussing the possibility of kicking American bases out of their territory. Trump started this war, and we're paying the price. That's what one Gulf official told the Washington Post. Like others in the article, he spoke on the condition of anonymity given the sensitive subject. Anger with the United States is now at its highest point since the United States and Israel decided to launch strikes on Iran back in February. Gulf states continue to rely on Washington as a close security partner and a major arms supplier, and both Qatar and Bahrain host large U.S. bases. But frustration is leading some states to consider new arrangements. In the near term, it won't really significantly reorder the region, but countries have begun to explore their options. We see a mutual defense agreement signed by the Saudis, the Turks, and the Pakistanis, a signal to the United States that its influence right now in the region is waning significantly. And it comes as America's troops continue to face trouble. Naval families with loved ones aboard months on U.S. warships amid the war in Iran have reacted with fury to Donald Trump and Pete Hegseth's dismissal of their concerns about the extreme pressures and dire conditions they are enduring. The Guardian spoke to 3 naval families. I've spoken to nearly a dozen naval families.
Dire conditions, dire situations. There is no way these men and women should be on this vessel suffering. Thank you, Snowdrop. Suffering. Yeah. Suffering. The family members are calling. The family members are concerned. The family members are worried about their loved ones on the ship. They're just sitting in the middle. They're just sitting there doing nothing. Incompetent is an understatement. That's right. You both are absolutely right. France, Germany, and Britain all said no to Trump months ago. That said it all. There it is, right there. No, they're pushing back. They know he's not serious about being the president. They know he's only out for himself. He's trying to renovate everything, which is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. He wants that pool to be revamped. It's weird, too. He's almost like he's decorating the White House. Anyway, these men and women need to get off this ship. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It doesn't matter, Debbie. How many? It's the fact of the matter is that these men and women have been on this ship for 250 something odd days, and they can't use their bathrooms are messed up. Their food rationings are bad. They're in a state of emergency. People are losing their mental capacity. And for us to downplay it and say that one person, if there is a half a person, it's bad. And I don't believe, I'm not understanding why the ship captain, because you would have to just put me in jail or whatever, don't get this ship and take it back home. Forget the orders. Skadoodle. It makes no sense. He was taken off the ship for medical treatment. Don't you think all of them need to be taken off the ship for medical treatment? Don't we believe that there is something going on this ship that is not right? And if these boys, men and women are on this ship complaining and have a reason to complain, bathrooms are jacked up, the food rationings ain't rationing it, people are losing their minds. They've been on that ship for 250 days. They feel like they're in this ship prison. What we're not going to do is downplay the severity of this situation. We're going to call it like we see it. And I don't believe Trump cares. I really don't. Because if he cared even just the inkling, he would get these people off the ship. off the ship. For the record, he didn't get my vote. Camilla got mine too. Only because we share the same birthday. Dealing with a whole lot of propaganda, Russian times. Well, at least we know we're not blinded by what's going on this ship and what is going on here. These other countries are getting sick of Donald Trump and his ways. They don't agree with him. Yeah, Lisa, the Kennedy Center. He put his name on the Kennedy Center. They removed it. He's an idiot. He's an idiot. Why is you running around putting your name on everything like you're the hero? I absolutely believe what our military is saying. Me too. If they said it was 6 people, Lisa, then dang it, it was 6 people that were trying to jump off the boat. One was successful, and they had to jump in and get him, allegedly. But I heard it was 6 people, and so I'm not going to downplay it and make it seem like it's not something serious going on the USS Lincoln. Crazy ado. 5,000 member families have all been lied to by Trump, promising they will get to come home to their families over 200 days. Thank you, Cece, for that. Comment of the moment. Trump is about personal gain while the shipmates are forced to be living in inhumanely conditions. Comment of the moment goes to Michelle Plotter. No one's boy or girl should be sent to war. Lives lost over money, because that's all it is, money. They are hardly doing nothing. See, that these comments that you're making, Debbie, are dismissive. Your comments are very dismissive today to say they're not doing anything. That's the point. Being somewhere and staring at a wall all day and looking at each other all day and hoping there's enough food for enough people to go around and hoping that maybe I can get in there and take a bath, or maybe, these conditions that they're in is inhumane. So to say they're not doing anything doesn't negate the fact that they are in conditions that are inhumane, and nobody wants to be, and they don't have to be. That's the whole thing. They do not have to be sitting in these conditions. They don't have to be sitting nowhere doing anything, doing nothing. If they had a job to do, wouldn't they have done it already? They're sitting on a boat waiting for Donald Trump to quit making stupid decisions. They're out of supplies. Their food rationings are coming to an end. The bathroom conditions are not usable. What happens is Sometimes bathrooms get backed up with toilet paper and all kinds of stuff. And then when the toilets stop working, you're using the bathroom on top of each other. Imagine it. Inhumane conditions. And Debbie, the only thing that you can say right now is that they're doing a job. They have a job to do. And they don't really have a job to do because they are sitting in water for days waiting on orders. You can't defend your president's actions, Debbie. You are not going to be able to defend Donald Trump's actions. Period. As much as you would like to defend him in this situation is undefendable. Yeah. Hold on.
Police, all of whom have been following the physical and mental stresses bearing down on their relatives with mounting alarm. The families.
Mental stresses. Mental stress bearing down on these men and women. The families with loved ones on board the USS Abraham Lincoln and the USS Trever are spoke anonymously for fear of retribution against their active duty relatives. They spoke of insignificant nourishment that has led to close relatives losing 20 to 30 pounds in weight since they were sent to the Middle East 5 months ago, leaving one sailor emaciated. According to his mother, they spoke also of low quality drinking water. Mental health counseling and support despite the intense burden of being at sea for months on end without making land. They don't have a job to do. They went out there to do a job, but that job has not. What are they doing? Sitting and looking at each other and deteriorating.
Have loved ones aboard the USS Abraham Lincoln and the USS Tripoli all spoke anonymously for fear of retribution. They spoke of insufficient nourishment that has led to close relatives losing 20 to 30 pounds since they were sent to the Middle East, leaving one sailor, quote, emaciated. They also spoke of low quality drinking water, scarce mental health counseling, support despite the intense burden of being at sea for months. On the Lincoln, there are multiple reports of those trying to take their own lives. Now, Trump and Hegseth have swatted away families' concerns, but the sister of...
It said these people are trying to take their own lives. The USS Abraham Lincoln, an aircraft carrier with more than 5,000 sailors and Marines on board, have been at sea for nearly 9 months, almost a freaking year, having begun its deployment in November. There have been reports of multiple suicide attempts, unaliving attempts. There have been reports of multiple unaliving attempts, including jumping overboard. When Trump was asked on Friday whether naval families were worried about conditions on board, this is what he said. No, they're not lying. The president is straight out 100% lying. No, they're not, he said, that the Lincoln deployment now in its 9th month was not nearly long enough. You diaper wearing orange head person, you. These people are wanting to unalive themselves. Make that make sense. They don't want to be here anymore because of the conditions that they are living in. They have lost the will to live. And that should be concerning to everyone. Instead of deflecting and instead of trying to cover it up and pretend it's just one person that's on this ship having a hard time, is a bunch of BS.
A Lincoln crew member in his late 30s says that the remarks made her want to grab Trump and Hegseth and shake them. I grew up in a United States where you have to be very respectful of the military as they're making the ultimate sacrifice in protecting their country. And now you have the commander-in-chief and defense secretary dismissing their experiences and calling them liars. I am really angry. It's a feeling of betrayal, she said. These are frustrating, false, and careless comments, and they're going to have a lot of consequences for my brother. The mother of a sailor on board the Lincoln in his early 20s said, quote, "My son signed up to serve his country."
My son signed up to serve his country, but why isn't his country serving him? Why is his president treating him like cock-a-doodle-doo? No, the boys are fine. They haven't been out there long enough. Is there anyone sane in the White House? And I'm talking to you two Democrats, because I'm not hearing nothing from you guys. You're waiting for November. Then what the hell is going to happen in November? What steps are you going to take? What are you going to do to change what this man has crumbled?
But why isn't his country serving him? They're not feeding him or supplying clean water, and living conditions are horrible. He did not sign up for that. The sister of the Lincoln crew member.
The living conditions are horrible. They don't want to live in the conditions that they're living in. And some people are, trigger warning, are not happy and mentally gone. Mentally.
For a shared text she has received in recent days from her brother. And one, he said the water is so bad, they took out the scuttlebutts, referring to the drinking containers on the carrier. He also described the mental health services available to struggling sailors that are now stretched thin. Our deployment resilience counselor quit 3 months ago. To see the only psychiatrist is a 5-week wait unless you do like 3 of our shipmates and jump off the ship or take 27 sleeping pills. He added that a senior officer from CENTCOM, the U.S. Central Command, overseeing operations in the Middle East, visited for 2 hours. He made a, quote, interesting speech. It was all pretty good news and quite inspiring until he reminded us that it's not mental health, it's just health. And we can simply exercise our brains to make ourselves happy. And that's not all. Take a listen to this.
Your reaction today to President Trump saying that, in fact, he didn't think the USS Lincoln's deployment has been, quote, long enough.
Oh, my God. I don't think the man thinks before he talks. And I was really hoping that at some point there would be a redemption. Try to redeem yourself at least a little bit with everything that you do and everything that you say, and try to redeem yourself. Have some sympathy, some empathy, take some accountability for.
Have some empathy, take some accountability, do something. If they are sitting on a boat rationing their food, the water ain't safe, they can't take a bath, the smell in there is probably inhumanable, and they can't get a ship out there to replace this ship so that this ship can regroup. I know we ain't that broke, Donald Trump. Or are you saving them couple of thousands of dollars for your ballroom? What is up with you? And the captain, I'm blaming the captain of this ship, and I'm also blaming the Pentagon. Get these boys, men and women, these soldiers, off this damn boat. Exactly, Michelle Lee. He should make an executive decision to turn that ship around and facing treason from a treacherous dictator who doesn't give a he doesn't care. There's no way on this green shiny earth that Obama would do such a thing. First of all, he wouldn't have started a war. Hello, Cassandra. Crazy at you. That's that stupid stuff. That's that stupid stuff. Yeah, but he ain't on the USS Lincoln, is he, Debbie? He ain't on that ship. The mental health state, according to Michelle Lee, will result in PTSD, and they'll have to appeal for years before getting entitlements. And this, I know. I believe it, Michelle Lee. What is there to defend? Exactly. He's a pedo, a gapist, a thief, a felon. We can keep going on, but what's to defend? Comment of the day goes to Lisa Latham. Hello, Fluffy. Yeah, make this make sense. It's disturbing. It's disturbing. Yeah, they want their family members off this ship. Somebody talking about it's their job. What the heck? It's not my job to starve. It's not my job to be in conditions that are inhumane to me. It's not my job to do that. It's not my job to have PDS, what Michelle said. It's not my job to lose my life over nothing. I'm not even in battle. It'd be different if they were in battle. They're just sitting there floating. Dude. Medical. No, they're not doing. How the hell am I supposed to do my job in the conditions that I'm in? So they're not doing their job. They're suffering. They're suffering. It's called suffering. Suicide is doing your job. How can I do my job if I don't want to be here no more? Make that make sense. How am I going to land a plane somewhere when my mental health can't even tell you where to land? Because I've been on this ship for 250 days doing not a damn thing. But look it. They are not working. They're in misery. They're in pain. This is the problem, Debbie. Get a new ship. Switch it out. They don't have no more USSs. You can't defend this. It's not defendable. You can't defend this. It's not defendable. It does something to me. Because you sit here and you defend Donald Trump to the end when you know this bill BS is wrong. But no matter how you see it, you're always going to see it that from his point of view, I guess, I don't know, but thinking that the things that Donald Trump do is okay, and it's not okay. It is not okay. He is not a good president. He is not taking care of the American people. He is not taking care of the United States. Look how he's treating his own military. And the only thing that we can come up with is that they're working. So I'm going to put my life on the line. I'm going to put everything out there to be on a ship that ain't moving, ain't going nowhere, ain't doing nothing but sitting there, and we're out of supplies. Normally, when you get down to the nitty gritty, it's time to go home and regroup. I think they would be insubordination, treason. They left the job, some stupid stuff. That's what I think here for the show. I think something would happen to them. But you know what? They would have to blame it on me if I was the captain, because we getting the hell out of here. You can't eat? Oh no, let's go. You can't use the bathroom. The bathrooms are tore up from the floor up and it smells in here. Let's get the heck up out of here. Your mental health is going cuckoo. Oh, let's get the hell up out of here. You wouldn't even have to tell me as a captain. I've made an executive decision, because we're dealing with an orange head in the White House, and that dye is getting to him mentally. Imagine the ongoing mental effects these How the hell am I going to do my job if my mental health is fucked up? Make that make sense? Excuse my language. How am I supposed to work at a 9 to 5 and my mental health is jacked all the way up? I can't even see straight. But you want me to land a plane? Make that make sense. It's Lady Leticia. Leticia. Lady Leticia. Lady Leticia. It's Lady Leticia. Leticia. Lady They've been there 9 months. They've been there a whole year.
I tell you what, he will lose if he goes against the military families.
Well, he
Because
should
you got
be.
people putting him in the White House.
Yeah.
He goes against them.
Yeah, they put him in the White House. And this is abandoning the post. Exactly. Leaving this BS behind and going home. That's exactly what they need to do. Shoot. Because if my mental health is not, if I can't help you mentally, physically, or emotionally, if I can't do my job, then how in the hell am I going to do it? I can't do the job that you're asking me to do because my mental health is declining because of the conditions we're in. It's time to go. It's time to go home. It's time to say,
what's going on with your military, your ships, in your war, it's infuriating. I mean, we heard what Hegseth said yesterday, what the president is saying today. It's infuriating. It's essentially saying that families are lying and service members are lying, even though the proof is right here on my phone. It is not fabricated.
Now he wants to say that they're lying. They're not lying, Donald Trump. They're telling you the truth. Why would they have to lie to you? What would be the point?
Nobody is lying. Everybody is it's infuriating that they're not taking accountability and not having any sort of sympathy for our service members that they claim to scream and shout that they support when it's politically, sound for them to use support our troops until our troops need support. And now suddenly everyone's lying and it's a fabrication and it's a misrepresentation. It's infuriating. And I so badly would.
It is infuriating. It's infuriating.
Love to plaster my face and blow the whistle so loud on social media with my name and be like, this is real. We are real people. Those are real people on that ship. This is actually happening. But unfortunately, I have to protect my husband's career. And he's making a career out of this, or he was. I'm not sure what he's going to do when he gets back.
If you want to know what the president of the United States was focused on, here's what he was focused on. He was thanking George Washington for some of George Washington's, quote, brilliant ideas for his great military complex and ballroom. Signed, President Donald J.
Look at this. This is what he's worried about, ballroom stuff. Look at this. Thank you, George, for some of your brilliant ideas on this great military complex ballroom. President Donald J. Trump. What the hell are you talking about? What ballroom? You got men out there in the water suffering, you dumb diddy dumb. It's very frustrating. It is extremely frustrating because if I was one of those Marine moms, I would be calling the White House. Put his orange head on the phone. This is ridiculous. He's worried about ballrooms and restructuring this and restructuring that and all of that. No, those boys are fine. Leave them alone. They're on the ship. They've been there 9 months. They're good.
Trump. And so that's where we're at right now as a society, and that's where the United States military is at. It is bad.
Society.
It is bad. But we're not going to stop. We're not going to stop.
They're not helping.
We're not going to stop reporting the truth. We're not going to stop sticking up for.
Thank God for YouTube. He needs to be called out. This BS needs to be seen. And I don't talk about Trump every day, but I could. He's always doing something stupid and idiotic. And I can definitively say, as my president, I am ashamed of him. I am ashamed of my president. I'm ashamed of his ethics, everything he got going on. I am ashamed of him. And that says a lot when you are ashamed of your president. And I agree with you, Lisa. How in the hell am I going to sweep the floor and my mental health is going, I'm bouncing, hitting my head on the wall. Sweep the floor, Letitia. What? I'm bumping my head. But you want to land a plane, help land a plane. I can't help. I can't even lay down and go to sleep. $500 souls are on that vessel. I know I would get the hell out of there. I would be pressuring the captain. Hey, you gonna let us die out here? That's what I'd be. Abandon ship. That's what that man was trying to do. Abandon the ship. The ship is up from the floor up, and we need to evacuate the ship. Shit. I'm so glad they're calling this out. Call it out. Call a spade a spade. It is called the USS Lincoln. I wouldn't test them, appreciate them serving Americans, but I don't like how Orange Man is not considering about their well-being. Exactly. Let's take a vote. All in favor of leaving? All in favor of not? All to go? Let's go. Let's get the hell out of here. Yeah, why don't he fly over there and see what kind of conditions that they in? He doesn't care. I don't care what the ship is doing. The ship ain't no good. The ship is in disarray. The ship ain't shipping anymore. It is floating out there. And them people are in danger, danger, danger. Yeah, check on her, Cassandra. Yeah, they've committed to what they needed to do. They got these men on this ship, all in the name of stupidity. Hello, LL. Hello, Lisa B. Okay, sweetheart. It's good to see you as always. So, we're not talking about that ship, Debbie. We're talking about this one that's under the ones that we're talking about. This one. That just would be like me talking about the Partanian instead of talking about the Titanic. Two different ships. Two different scenarios. That has nothing to do with apples and oranges. The USS Lincoln ain't got nothing to do with the Batten. What they doing, where they going, and how they doing they shit. Because here's the thing. They ain't in duress. These people are. They're not in duress. but these people are. We're going to move on to Donald Trump's affair. Exactly. Well, they need to get there quicker. They're moving too damn slow. Not the diaper supply. It's tomorrow, Snowdrop, and I will not be attending. I think my plane ticket was almost $1,000 or close to it. And I didn't think it, I just said I didn't want to pay that. So, and my sister didn't want to go Frontier. She said it's the worst airlines you can fly on. So I decided to just sit this one out. Yeah. I mean, yeah, and it was too last minute, for me. If it had been a month from today, I should have planned for it better. But yeah. Yes. No, the ship is not in good condition, Lisa. According to my husband, the ship is not in good condition. So I don't know if it needs repairs or whatever, but I know the bathrooms do. I know they need food, and the water ain't watering it. Maybe they would have been better prepared. Maybe they didn't realize they were going to be out there in on water for 9 months. He does. Trump lives for chaos and conflict, then hides underground. He dodged the armed forces and is apparently the commander-in-chief, who's incapable of being in charge of anything except criminal affairs. I like that, Michelle Lee. Debbie is always talking about something in the past, deflecting, pointing the finger somewhere else, trying to get our minds off of what's really happening and trying to justify Trump's behavior. That's all. It happens all the time. Trump cannot do anything wrong in Debbie's eyes, and that's a problem because there is no president that is perfect. And every time we talk about his downfalls, Debbie deflects. I didn't bring up a past ship. I brought up the current ship. Okay, let's move on to his affair. Because Melania is missing. Let's see. Fears. Melania in hiding as fears. No, not that. Okay, here we go.
The brother of top Trump aide Natalie Harp is speaking out front tonight. Preston Harp has been estranged from his sister for a few years, but obviously you can see they grew up together. He's sharing these photos with out front of them together as children, weighing in on the intense attention that Natalie is now getting after Democratic Senator Jon Ossoff raised questions about her role in this White House. Preston, I really appreciate the opportunity to talk to you. And I know you've shared some photos with us, you and your sister Natalie as children. Obviously, there you are, Padres fans. There you are with your parents. And now your sister is front and center in the news. I mean, front and center as it gets. Did you ever think you'd see something like this?
No, it really blows my mind.
I mean, your sister, my understanding is, first became known to Trump back in 2019. And at the time, she credited him, Preston, with helping her beat a tragic battle, but one that she incredibly beat with bone cancer. Here's what she said.
This president pushed that forward and possibly saved your life.
He did. As I like to say, I'm not dying from cancer anymore thanks to President Trump. I'm living with cancer. I'm living the quality of
Donald Trump saved her life. That does not even make sense. She's got cancer, but Trump saved her life from cancer. This is the aid.
life that I always wanted to have that it took me 4 years to find because I wasn't offered it here. It took President Trump going to Washington to be able to get that for me.
And after that, President, she had speaking slots at the Faith and Freedom Conference, at the 2020 RNC, right? She became very high profile and then started working for Trump. How much do you think she truly believed that Trump saved her life?
Well, that's an interesting question. But if she thinks about it, what he did was he made experimental drugs legal to try, and the insurance would pay for it. So it's not like he like physically saved her life, you know? It's kind of different. Like, it's like Donald Trump didn't pay his own money to save my sister's life. So it really just depends how you look at it. You know?
This is some stupid stuff. You can tell she is on cloud 20 for Donald Trump. She is so giddy and so in love with him. You can just see the way she talks about him, how he saved her life from cancer. It's something's up, okay? Something is going on with the gruesome twosome. And I believe, not allegedly, something is going on behind the scenes. Okay?
You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I mean, and look, I guess it's just one example of everyone trying to understand, who this person is, who spends so much time and, is with the president all the time, right? He's the commander in chief and she has such an important role. So there was a series called The Art of the Surge just a couple of years ago, Preston, 2024. And in it, your sister talks extensively about working for Trump. I just wanted to play a clip of it for you. Here she is.
Politics was never something I liked. Business was my background, real estate, MBA. I was very much not interested in politics in California. I feel like you get the same kind of sort of politicians. But when I was sick, I started watching the Republican debates. He was my first exposure to politics, and I loved it. Like, this guy, he gets it.
So she says there, he was her first exposure to politics, right? You guys grew up in the same home, the same family. So you understand where she's coming from in a way that no one else does.
Yeah. I mean,
what do you think drew her to him?
Well, my mom raised us with the idea that American exceptionalism was the correct way of looking at things, that the United States is the boss of the world, that, slavery was back then, that was normal. People weren't bad because they had slaves. And honestly, and it's like Trump wants...
People wasn't bad back then because they had slaves. That is what his parents taught him. Maybe she is changing his diapers, his orange diaper. She's his hospice worker. That shit wasn't normal. Being slaves is not being normal. That's just some BS that y'all came up with that thought it was okay to enslave black people. Tell your mama that.
To take all those books out of schools. He wants to rewrite history. And so, I think that my sister, unfortunately, didn't break out of that delusion that my mom raised us with. And Trump is like every...
At least he admits it, that his mom raised him under some delusional situations. And it's okay. That's that deep-rooted, what you call generational BS. That's why people still have the mindset of... That's why we're still dealing with segregation. We're still dealing with racism. We're still dealing with the fact that that the black and brown people still have it tough. Look at Nolan. We're yet to solve his case because they keep hiding behind, oh, no, that didn't happen, that didn't happen, that didn't happen, and lawyer it up and don't want to show any evidence. But they want that cell phone, don't they? He did, Michelle Lee. Donald Trump removed funding from cancer research and clinic trials. He sure did. I was going to mention that, which I thought was weird, since she said he saved her. How the hell he saved you and he took away the research? No, she's 20-something and he didn't mess around.
Everything that my mom taught us to respect. So I think that's where her infatuation for Trump comes from, honestly, because I don't think it's a physical attraction. Let's get real, you know, like personally, I don't think so.
So when you use the word infatuation, I understand your point about, you know, the nature of it. I mean, she obviously is his assistant. She they call her the human printer, right? She prints everything. She takes his social media dictation. She accompanies him on almost every trip, including when he goes to Mar-a-Lago or his golf club in New Jersey on the weekends. And she was, of course, President, as we're all now aware, one of the very few people who did not include the Secretary of State or Treasury that Trump took off Air Force One via that catering truck. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like that. If you're really friends and loyalty.
She was the only one that got off the plane with him. He left his aides and stuff, his other folks on the plane when they switched planes, when he was in danger or whatever. She got off the plane with him. But the other administrations didn't. Is he showing favoritism for Natalie?
Your team, why would you just go peace out and take another airplane when you think the other airplane's going to get shot down? Like,
and why would you leave your aide
what do you think it is about her
that might get shut down? Why not everybody transfer over to the new plane? Wasn't there room for everyone, Donald Trump? Or was it just enough room for you and Natalie? If I was them administrative people, I would be pissed off because this plane was subject to be shot down. And this new plane that he hopped off of, y'all heard this, right? Donald Trump, there was a threat in the air. They landed that plane, and him and Natalie got off that plane and got on another one. But he left his administration on the other plane. Look at him getting off the plane. I'm coming, Donald Trump. I hope they don't start asking a whole bunch of questions.
her? I mean, what do you make of how much the president relies on her? We've learned a lot, from Maggie Haberman and Jonathan Swan's new book, we've learned, right, about his incredible reliance on her at all hours of the day to post social media posts, just as one example.
Yeah. I think that Trump's best friends are people who are his fan club, and so she's his biggest fan. And so that's probably why he likes her. And like, she's good looking.
Oh.
She's got a good personality. Like,
she's good looking. She's his fan. And she's got a great personality. So why not? Why not, Trump? Go for it, Trump. What about Melania? Where's Melania?
I don't know.
I want to ask you, President,
she thinks that he saved your life. So, somebody living with that kind of gratitude, that must feel pretty good.
I want to ask you about something. I don't know if you knew about this. You probably didn't. But we're just breaking it here at CNN this hour, and that is 2 sources, Preston, are telling CNN that your sister was involved. Okay. back in October 2023, right? The context here is Donald Trump's motorcade was going to leave Trump Tower for a court appearance, okay? And they were all getting into the motorcade.
yeah.
There was sort of a screaming match about who was getting in what car, and it turned out that there wasn't room for Natalie. So she insisted, she said no. Trump had personally asked her to come to this court appearance, so she needed to be in the car. Now, according to these sources, the end result is that your sister jumped into the trunk of one of the motorcade vehicles
The trunk?
to go to the court appearance in Lower Manhattan.
That's really funny. I didn't even know about that.
I mean, what is your...
I think her obsession for Trump is unhealthy. It had moved into unhealthy territory. She jumped in the trunk. She was supposed to get in the car, but I guess there wasn't any room. So she got in the trunk of the car to meet Donald Trump at court.
your reaction to that?
That's
I mean,
crazy.
you're laughing, but I mean, is it funny or what? I mean, you know her, so that's
it's not.
why.
I'm sorry. It's actually kind of sad. That's obsession. That's like an unhealthy obsession with someone. If you're going to jump into the trunk of their car, like.
So I mentioned Maggie Haberman and Jonathan Swan's book Regime Change, Preston, which of course I know you've heard a lot about it, but in that, Natalie's name became known to a lot of people, right? Prior to the whole NATO plane incident, she was in the book as an important player, and her role, her importance to the president became clear. They report that she left him, the president, a series of letters in personal spaces where she told him, "You're all that matters to me," in one, and another one she writes, "I want to bring you joy." And then they say that
you all that matters to me. I want to bring you joy. See, here's the problem. You got Donald Trump flirting, or she's flirting with him. Isn't that inappropriate? I mean, come on. Inappropriate. Inappropriate. So, hey, Natalie, I'm married and I have a wife. Why don't you skadoodle? You're fired.
Trump said, "Your sister is the only one who loved him as much as his wife and kids."
Oh!
So what is your reaction to this? Does this sound like her, or the person that you knew well, your sister?
Yeah. I mean, basically, I'd say since she was like 16, she's had an obsession with gosh, how do I explain this? She's written letters to other presidents. Let me put it that way. And so like her dream came true finally.
Oh, interesting. So you're saying that she actually was very aware of politics, right? And that she had written other presidents' letters. Do you happen to know which ones or what they were about or anything, Preston, that you would be able to share here?
I didn't see the letter, but George Bush, obviously, during the Iraq War.
And did anything ever come of that? I mean, did the White House ever respond or anything, or she just sort of sent a letter?
No, they never responded.
Yeah. Now, look, I've been emphasizing here, obviously, you know her in a way that no one else does as her brother, but you are obviously estranged from her at this time. But, we see those pictures of you all as children and your family. If she was listening to you right now, is there anything you'd want to tell her?
Yeah, I love you. I hope that you change and that you wake up and you realize that everybody on this earth is part of a human family, and no country is better than any other country. And the history of the United States is unfortunately really sad, and it shouldn't be rewritten. We got to all come together and try to make it better.
Well, I really appreciate your time and taking the time to talk to us. Obviously, your sister's in a position of incredible influence and power, and that's important to all.
It's Lady Leticia. Leticia. Lady Leticia. Lady Leticia. It's Lady Leticia. Leticia. Lady Leticia. Lady Leticia. Lady Leticia. Leticia. Lady Leticia. Lady Leticia. It's Lady Leticia. Leticia. Lady Leticia. Lady Leticia.
Get up.
It's Lady Leticia. Leticia.
I think I'm here. I'm here. I'm so sorry. I forgot to switch it over.
Quarters, but when she wanted to get even closer, she then have been asking throughout the entirety of the second Trump presidency. But now we have an answer that very much upsets the president and should bring a lot more attention to his failing marriage, because the answer to the question of where's Melania appears to be at war with Natalie Harp. There is a tension in the White House that is finally being exposed as more attention is being paid to Natalie Harp, not just Donald Trump's secret girlfriend or secret nurse, but someone who not so secretly is causing problems with the estranged first lady. We have so much to get into in this story. I also want to hear from later in this show, Dr. Abdul Al-Sayed and my good friend Jennifer Welch about Melania. So you're going to want to stick around. But really, this all begins with Melania and her willingness to fight with her own husband. It's why the White House is so scared. It's why the Natalie Harp news is so important. And it's where we got to begin before we get into the very, very juicy details of the fight between Melania and Natalie. White House panics over fears Melania could go rogue. Author Michael Wolff details how everyone in the White House is afraid of Melania and her power. Ooh, spicy. First Lady Melania Trump is the one force neither the president nor his staff can. Everybody in the White House is afraid of Melania Trump and her power. That is that Trump and his wife barely speak, and notes that there is hardly are seen as the most disturbing to the White House and most in danger of putting her on a collision course with the president, Wolf wrote. It's okay to make money in the Trump White House and in the Trump family, not so okay to make yourself the main event. A 927-page financial disclosure report released by the U.S. Office of Government Ethics on June 30th found that despite the First Lady's documentary, Melania, bombing at the box office, the movie made big bucks for the Trumps. Jeff Bezos's Amazon MGM Studios paid $75 million.
Made money on her memoir and the documentary. Although a lot of people didn't get their money back, because I think it grossed $16 million, but Jeff Bezos put $75 million on the film. So I believe Melania and Donald Trump, according to this gentleman, made out good. Everybody
$1 million for the film, just gross corruption, which followed the First Lady in the 20 days leading up to her husband's second inauguration. But the film grossed just roughly $16.7 million worldwide. However, the government ethics report found that the Trumps raked in $10.71 million in proceeds from the film license agreement. Melania also earned
$0.71 million in proceeds for the licensing agreement. All right.
Earned a reported $521,000 from her memoir. When reached for comment, White House spokesperson David Engel offered a recycled statement saying that Michael Wolff is a lying piece of shit. Wolff also noted that because Melania's moves appear to be a little unpredictable, almost nobody near Trump, including Trump himself, knows Melania's moves until she makes them. Trump's political vulnerabilities lie in plain sight. The grift is violations of the law, the dubious or even game. So Melania is a little bit on the loose. There's a possibility of leaking, possibility of making statements, possibility of generally just upsetting this administration. And then we insert Natalie Harp. Now, I don't think that Melania is jealous of Natalie in the traditional sense. I don't think she wants to spend more time with Donald Trump, but we always hear that Melania Trump cares very much about her image, which I can't imagine she thinks she has a great one, considering she's the only First Lady with a negative approval rating. But what would hurt that image is being humiliated by Natalie, which is why there's a fight breaking out. Melania's secret power struggle with Trump's blonde companion revealed. Breaking, the First Lady does not appreciate her husband's 35-year-old assistant, according to a Trump biographer. Melania Trump is locked in a secret power struggle with Donald Trump's 35-year-old assistant, according to the president's biographer. White House aide Natalie Harp has become seemingly inseparable from Donald Trump, and her near-constant presence is made all the more striking by Melania's conspicuous absence. A report and analysis by the Daily Beast found that the 56-year-old First Lady was seen in public just 47 times in 2025 since the inauguration and 38 days in the first 7 months of 2026. Melania is steering clear of her 80-year-old husband because she has little interest in sharing his side with Harp, Michael Wolff says. In a new post on his Substack, Michael Wolff writes that Harp's central presence in Trump's life has helped explain why Melania rarely appeared alongside him. Melania, whose appearances with her husband were carefully negotiated and choreographed, would not show up if Harp was around. Since Harp was always around, Melania never was, appearing with her husband only in the last weeks of the campaign. Harp, meanwhile, has gone to extraordinary lengths to stay glued to Trump. When Trump moved his campaign operation from Palm Beach to his golf club in Bedminster, not only did she try living in the maids' quarters, but when she wanted to get even closer, she then moved to the women's locker room. During this time, Harp also reportedly wrote Trump a string of love letters that she would leave in his personal spaces, according to Maggie Haberman and Jonathan Swan. "You're all that matters to me," one letter read. As Harp and Trump's attachment to each other appeared to deepen, Melania declined to even move into the White House.
This is so inappropriate. This is so inappropriate. Leaving him love notes. Where are you? Trying to get close to him. Sleeping in the laundry room. I mean, just doing some crazy stuff. This ain't normal. This is obsession.
White House after the president's return to office. Other than at ceremonial occasions or in a strictly official capacity, she has given up the role of wife, wrote Wolff, who has been clashing with Melania in court. Practically speaking, there is no room for her. I think the best example of this was in Donald Trump's bilateral meeting in China, when Natalie Harp was there, but no Melania, right? And I remember that moment in which I think it was Brian Kilmeade saw Trump coming off the plane, and there was a woman walking next to him, and they're like, "Oh, it's Natalie, it's It's Melania. Is it Melania? Oh, nope. It's not Melania. It's Laura Trump, right? There were moments in which, even at Fox, they're like, Melania's not here? That's really weird, because she doesn't show up anymore. And Natalie Harp is a great explanation. There is tension, there is fighting, there is a level of uncomfortableness. And let me state this again. It is not because Melania is jealous of the time that Natalie Harp gets to spend with her decaying husband. It's because, as we have heard a million times from the Melania Trump camp, she cares a great deal about her image, and she doesn't want to look as if she is the third wheel in her own marriage, a marriage we know she doesn't like, but she's embarrassed by Natalie Harp. This is like an episode of Succession. Like, Natalie Harp is literally Carrie. She's the executive assistant who's bad on television, and the wife is pissed. Like, Melania is Marcia. It's literally perfectly written. I'm a big Succession fan, so give them credit where credit's due. It's probably one of my favorite shows. Nonetheless, moving on from that, from my TV criticism, this is a perfect linkage, which is why it was so funny when Donald Trump decided a really good campaign tactic against Abdul al-Sayed was to make a very just racist and gross comment about him and his wife. Of course, Abdul hit back. He hit back once again on my show this weekend.
Obviously, you have ruffled some feathers with the worst person on the planet, that is Donald Trump, a man who has no real connection to his family, but decided to go after yours. Obviously, you responded. But what was the first thing you felt in that moment when Donald Trump decided he was going to go after your wife in such a disgusting way?
Come at us, bro. Yeah. My wife is more strength than he has ever had. So come at us, see what happens. I mean, at the end of the day, like, he's going to turn me into the main character of the midterms, which I'm totally cool with, because my whole argument about Mike Rogers is he's always been an NPC. And Mike Rogers, I mean,
he's not a real guy.
He is like an amalgam of something. He's a sock puppet.
Yeah.
Like, it really, the question is who inserts themselves in him and then controls his mouth. And Donald Trump can't help himself. So part of me's like, come for me, bro. See what happens.
Now, before we get into the politics, I just have to say real quick, my friend Abdul is not as short as you think he is. Dr. Abdul al-Sayed is plenty normal.
All right. That's it with the Natalie situation.
People are now looking more and more into the strange relationship between Donald Trump and his aide, Natalie Harp, and it is weirder the more you dig in.
It is weird. It's weird. Oh, guys, we're going to skip the Giant Slayer today. Are you guys okay with that? Melania has always been absent. She's first lady in title only. She has no platforms. She's holding the Epstein involvement as a trump card. Wow, says Michelle Lee. Megadoo has brought out a new spread, Black something, current. She puts it in the cake, and the experts say the cake was overworked and overcooked. Oh, boy. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yep. Well, guys, that's all I had for today. I want to thank you for your attendance. Thank you for your support, your love. It means so much to me. It really does. I want to thank you so very much. Oh, yes, Michelle. Tomorrow, I promise you, we'll do the deep dive on, or maybe even tonight, just depends, the deep dive on the Giant Slayer, and also look at Megan's new black current, whatever that is, and some cake-a-do she made that ain't no good. Okay, a whole cake-a-do. Thank you so much here for the show. I appreciate you being here and hanging out with us. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Love you guys. Have a good one. Hey, let's go out with a song. What the hell? Feels like, you know how it just feels like something's undone. Here we go. Hold on.
Yeah. Let's grab it. Come on, yeah. Come on, lady, like you a fan of do. All of that I don't got the royalty news. She flashing never nasty as she keeps it refined. Covering the tea and the royalty combined. Listen to the story, every side, every view. No jumping to conclusions, that's what lady do. Not a fan of Meghan Markle, that's the royal decree. Go on and recognize, subscribe and do. Yeah. Lady lots of shots to the end of the room. Crown on her head and the tea goes boom. Got a kettle on, I got the receipts on deck. Been a dudes in the chat like what happened next. She don't need drama, she don't need a fight. She need both sides and get the story right. Classy in the daytime, classy at night. Even when the comment section started looking like a fight. She said, hold it all and let's hear them all. Before somebody's reputation takes her fall. Royalty served with a biscuit or two. Lady Lottie, she got no fan of do crew. Lady Lottie, she got no fan of do. All of that general got the royalty no. She classy, never nasty, as she keep it refined. Covering the tea and the royalty combined. She listen to the story, every side, every view. No jumping to conclusions, that's what lady do. Not a fan of Meghan Markle, that's the royal decree. God's every king, now subscribe to me. To make tea in the cup, tea all over the screen. Lady got opinions, but she keeps them pristine. Somebody said, lady, you gotta pick a side. She said, darling, I'm listening, let's take that ride. One side said this, other side said that. Hey, lady takes notes while she adjusts her hair. And all fan to do laughing, girl, you better go. She says, I get the facts before I steal the show. Yeah, royal family drama, you bring it on through. But don't spill the tea on the royal shoe. She'll cover the palace, the crown, and the crown's tea. And probably explain it while sipping green tea. I'm done with that, she shut up and do. I got that channel, got a royalty news. She classy, never nasty, how she keeps it real fine. Covering the tea and the royalty combined. She listen to the story, every side, every view. No jumping to conclusions, that's what lady do. Not a fan of Meghan Markle, that's a royal decree. God's every king, now subscribe to me. Fanadoo's assemble, everybody get ready. Lady Lottie, she's commentary steady. She got the tea kettle doing overtime. Somebody pass the biscuits, it's commentary time. No need for a sword, no need for a crown. She'll politely turn the royal gossip upside down. If the palace gets messy, she'll be right on the case. With a cup in her hand and a smile on her face. She says, darling, let's not get carried away. We'll hear everybody before we call it a day. Classy, never nasty, that's the motto she knew. Lady Lottie and a fan of do crew. Come on, Lady Lottie and a fan of do look. Pull out of that channel, got the royalty news. Classy, never nasty, yeah, she keeps it refined. Covering the tea and the royalty combined. She'll listen to the story every side, every view. No jumping to conclusion, that's what royal lady do. Not a fan of Meghan Markle, that's the royal decree. God said the king, now subscribe to me. Subscribe to do. Don't be shy, step through. Finna do squad, what it do. Grab your little teacup, put your pinky up. High, royalty so high, it's about to touch the sky. Lady says, be classy, everybody says too. Somebody spilled the tea, somebody blame the crew. Kettle started rattling, the biscuits flew. And Lady Lottie, she said I didn't do it, didn't. Come join Lady Lottie, she no fan of those. All of that channel got the royalty news. She classy, never nasty, as she keep it real fine. Covering the tea and the royalty combined. She'll listen to the story, every side, every view. No jumping to conclusions, that's what lady you. Not a fan of Meghan Markle, that's a royal decree. God save the king, now subscribe to me. Subscribe to do. Subscribe to do. Lady Lottie shop. And the fan of do crew.
Wow, you guys, I'm very shocked. Stephen A. Smith got a little bit of goddamn sense. Let's go ahead and get into this video.
I wanted to show you guys something real quick. And then I'll let you go. Promise. Where is it? Hold on. Hold on. One second. Hold on. I'm looking for CC stuff. No, it's not that. CC, I was gonna play the Chevy Chase thing, but I don't see it. Yeah, I don't see it. So I do apologize. I should have played it when I had the chance. What questions was he asking you? Okay. I was trying. Hello, Maureen. So good to see you. I was looking for the Chevy Chase thing. I can't find it. Oh, wow. I should have played it while I had the chance. All right, guys. I want to thank you. 2 hours. I'm out of here. Love you guys. Thank you, Thank you, CC.